you don't have to prove your worth, right? Stop trying to prove your worth to people who was never qualified to measure it in the first place. See, for so long, like me, you may have been overperforming, over-giving, over-explaining, just trying to be seen, trying to be chosen, trying to be loved or understood. But here's the truth. You don't earn worthiness. You remember it. For a long time, I thought that my worthiness was connected to what I did. I was the type of woman where I would get into relationships with men and I would just perform. I would just overdo all the time because I thought that my use of me was connected to my worthiness. And I thought that what I did was who I was. And so God came in and he showed me something different. So let me teach you something that I learned about my worth that I feel like can help you too. One of the first things that God taught me about my worth was that it was established before anyone could ever doubt it, question it, or debate it. Before I did anything, I was already valuable. God teaches you to prove yourself, but God calls us to be ourselves. There is a complete difference. You don't have to do anything to prove your worthiness, and I can prove it to you. When there's a newborn baby, what does a baby have to do to be considered worthy? Nothing. It only just has to what? Be who it is, and that's what? A baby. So if you can understand the concept that a baby has intrinsic worth without it having to do anything, why can't you understand that you're worth that as well? See, when we go through life, we allow people to tear us down. We allow people to tell us what we are and what we aren't. And because we live in a world that teaches us, especially as women, to hate ourselves if we don't look a certain way, we start to bite the bait and believe the lie. See, people will try to label you all kind of things. They'll call you a liar. They'll say you ugly. They'll say you short. They say you fat. They say you're manipulated. They say you're not worth it. They say you're not good enough. They say you're not smart enough. You're not intelligent enough. The world has all of these titles for you, but you get to decide what you want to pick up and put on. See, for me, I want to be beautiful. I want to be anointed. I want to be chosen. I want to be kind. I want to be loving. I want to be nurturing. I want to be special. I get to decide what I am, not the world. I come into agreement with my life, what God has already said about me. And he says that I am fearfully and wonderfully made. So what are you going to believe about you? See, no one has the power to make you anything, only what you accept. When someone calls you something and you agree to it, you are literally coming into agreement with the wrong things that people have said about you. No one has power over you except the power that you give to them. So it's not what people call you, it's what you answer to. If you don't like the things that people are calling you, stop answering to it. Stop agreeing to it. There is nothing that you can ever do that can take away from the worth of who you are as a person. I don't care what you said. I don't care what you've done. I don't care where you've been. There is nothing that you have done in this lifetime that the blood of Jesus cannot cleanse. And I don't mean to go spiritual on you, but I just got to give you the truth. Listen, if you take $100 bill and you crumble it up and you throw it on the ground and you step on it, is it still $100? Yeah, it might be a little wrinkled, but it's still $100. If I take a $100 bill and I rip it, is it still $100? Yes. Why? Because money, it does not lose its value. The $100 is still going to be the $100. And just like you have people that has come into your life and they haven't fully appreciated you for who you were. They've lied on you. They abused you. They've mistreated you. They've gossiped about you. They've cheered for you to lose. And just like you've never lost your value. But what you have to do is you have to get from around people who can't see you and get around people who can see you. See, sometimes we're just in the wrong environment. You have to stop going where you're tolerated and start going where you are appreciated, because there are people out there that God has for you that's going to see your value. You're not going to have to convince them. You're not going to have to write a paragraph. You're not going to have to prove yourself. They're just going to see you for who you fully are, and they're going to appreciate it. You know what? Matter of fact, they're going to thank God for you, that you are alive and that you exist, because you being around makes their life better. I want you to understand that you are not the things that people have said about you, and that you are not who people want you to be, but you are who you decide that you want to be. And you are who God says that you are. And he says that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. He said that you are beautiful. He says that you are unique and that there is no one in this world like you, and that he has created you one of a kind, and that you are more precious than gold, than money, than rubies. You have to learn how to walk in that and believe it. It's not what others believe about you. It's what you believe about you. And for so long, I didn't know this. So I overcompensated as a trauma response. And this is when you constantly feel the need to show your value. And this is usually because someone made you feel like your love had to be earned. But healed women move differently. They rest. They don't perform. But sis, I want to tell you, one of the ways that this played out in my relationship is I never got with anybody who I didn't feel like needed me. Every man that I ever dated in the past were men who I felt like needed me, because that's what I was told, that's what I was taught, that's what I saw, and I felt like I had to perform to be something different. I didn't feel like who I was enough. I didn't know that people could really like you and connect with you just because you're you. I thought that I had to have the best sex, or I had to cook the best food, or I had to clean the best, or be the funniest, or be the chillest, or be the woman that didn't nag. But all that did was teach people how to not appreciate me. And I don't want you to fall into the same trap that I did, because I want you to understand that your worth is intrinsic, and there's nothing that people could say or do to take that away from you. And once you understand that, once you believe that, you will believe different, you will show up different, you will behave different, you will talk differently. When you understand that there's nothing that I can do to make me less of who I am, but I am fully who I am, and I'm confident in who I am, regardless of how you may feel. My last point is that confidence is silent because it's rooted. When you know who you are, you stop auditioning for people. Matter of fact, when you know who you are, sometimes you're going to tell people, you know what, baby, it's okay. We're not, you know what, this isn't the friendship for me. Not because you did anything wrong, not because you're a bad person, but because I know me. And this friendship, I don't think it's going to work out best for me. You know what, this relationship is not going to serve me. You know what, this job is not what's best for me. You know what, I love my family, but I have to keep my distance. Once you start understanding yourself, you're going to stop being sad about people not picking you, because you're going to start understanding there's some people I work well with and some people I don't work well with, but it's nothing personal towards them. It's just who I am. You know who you are. You stop trying to prove your worth, and you just start being. You start living. You start existing. Matter of fact, when you understand who you are, you become more magnetic. People want to be around you, because what is this sauce that you have? What is this confidence that you have? What is this esteem that you have in yourself? Where did you get it from, and how can I get it too? When you start being yourself, you're going to notice how people are more drawn to you. You're going to notice how everything that you started chasing after, you was fighting after, it starts coming to you. You know why? Because you deserve it. You deserve the money. You deserve the husband. You deserve the love. You deserve the house. You deserve whatever your heart desires. And I want you to remember that, and never allow anybody else again to make you feel like you have to prove your worth. If people don't see it, you get up and you walk away. I am not proving myself to you. Either you see I am of value to you or you don't. But I'm not proving anything to you. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up, because I don't want it to be too long. But sis, if this video was a blessing to you and it encouraged you, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to like, I want you to share, and I want you to subscribe, because I know that this can bless somebody else. And then I'll catch you in the next video.